The news that Russia's territorial ambitions go beyond the Donbas region comes as absolutely no surprise to Ukrainians. Sergei Lavrov mentioning their Zaporizhzhia region and Kherson region. The Russian forces have occupied a large part of both of those regions since almost the beginning of this invasion, including Europe's largest nuclear power plant, the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, which is located about 50 kilometers to the southwest of here. And in recent days, that's been a focus of renewed concern because there's been shelling across the river from the occupied power plant to the city of Nikopol, which is a city of about 110,000 people situated in Dnipropetrovsk region, actually, but within easy range of Grad rockets from the power plant. And the Russians have been firing them and causing significant damage and fear in the city of Nikopol. We were there yesterday and they were saying that they were worried about renewed attacks and that they had a great deal of difficulty firing back the Ukrainian forces because they do not, of course, want to damage the nuclear power plant because of all the risks that that could entail. But yesterday afternoon, smoke was seen rising from near the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. It's believed that Russian positions were hit somewhere near the power plant. Perhaps this is speculation, though, that we've seen on social media by a Ukrainian drone attack. In Nikopol at that point, there was really an atmosphere almost of panic because they were fearing that there would be the Russians would be firing back. But that apparently didn't happen for the first night in several nights in a row. It appears, at least according to what the reports that we're seeing from the Ukrainian armed forces, that there was no attack on Nikopol overnight last night. So perhaps the Ukrainian armed forces managed to do some damage to the Russian positions there on the other side of the river, but the situation certainly remains very, very tense, and the Russians continue to control the lion's share of Zaporizhzhia region, though of course not the regional capital where I am now, which is still very much in Ukrainian hands.
And Gulliver, we're hearing that more rocket systems are being promised from the West, but is Ukraine happy with the support that it's been offered or received?
Well, we've just been travelling around Donetsk region in the Donbas, and Ukrainian soldiers and civilians alike that we met there all were saying how much of a difference the HIMARS, very accurate weapon systems that the United States has sent, and also the French Caesar weapons have made. And they say that they've been able to stabilise the front line there. Although there is constant artillery barrages, there is less than there were before, and now the Russians are resorting to more long-range rocket attacks and seem to be less able to make any gains on the ground. So the Ukrainians are being very clear that what they have already is making a big difference, and they're very grateful for getting any more weapons that they can. Just 4 falls far short of the goal that the Ukrainians have explicitly stated of obtaining 100 HIMARS systems from the United States. That's what they say they really need in order to turn the tide in this war. But the Ukrainian Defense Minister Alexei Reznikov also said that Ukraine and its Western partners had decided that they would not be announcing in advance most of the weapons deliveries that they would be promised from their allies. For obvious reasons, they want to retain as much of an element of surprise as they can.